You're listening to the Moody Mommies podcast.
Audio warning. You may or may not hear kids screaming and yelling in the background, or us screaming or yelling at them to keep it together.
Hi everyone, it's me, Jessica.
And it's Vanessa, your moodiest mommies.
We're always moody.
Stay moody every day of our lives, guys. Hope you are too.
Mm-hmm. And in case you are following along with us, you would notice that we have missed a week in between. Our show is supposed to be bi-weekly, but we get caught up in our lives and mommy stuff and bridal stuff right now. So
yeah. We're super busy planning Jessica's big day, so you got to excuse us, guys. We're trying to squeeze in episodes as much as we can. We've got our hands full of all this wedding stuff.
We do. So the best way to keep up to date with our podcast is to subscribe. So on iTunes, on Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast listening avenue is, I don't know. Subscribe there and you will get notified when our new episodes are out.
Yes, I love it.
Yes. So we were talking a little bit. My bachelorette party's coming. We're going to have to leave the kids with other people. And our husbands, or my soon-to-be husband, your husband, will be there with the girls. So it shouldn't be too bad. It'll be all right.
Yeah. I feel like I'm only anxious about it because I'm still nursing Luna. So I just feel super sorry for whoever has to hear her scream her head off while I'm not here 2 nights in a row.
But you never know, because sometimes they'll surprise you and they'll be okay.
I know. That's true. I won't even notice I'm gone.
Yeah.
I doubt that too.
But so what we're going to talk about this episode is letting your kids sleep over someone else's house for the first time.
Yes, and all of the anxiety that comes along with it. I don't know, like we both had this experience basically with each other, so it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
The first time Zoe ever spent the night anywhere was with you and Ernie and Justine.
Mm-hmm. And so what were you worried about when she was going to come sleep with us?
I think the only thing that I was worried about was if she was going to wake you guys up in the middle of the night crying, and it's like 3, 4 in the morning and you're just like, what? And she won't stop crying, and it's like, what have we done? Why did we ask for her to sleep over?
No, but I think I asked because you were pregnant with Luna, and I was going to have to take her when Luna was born, because obviously everybody in your immediate family was going to be there at the birth. So I was like, of course, we'll take her. So we wanted to do a little test run and see how she did. A little warm up. Yeah, so it was kind of like, a necessary thing. It wasn't like a... Yeah. Hey, because the girls were still little. They were both still under 2. Justine was just like barely 1. Like, she was so small.
Yeah, they were really small. I know. When I think back now at how little Zoe was when I was pregnant with Luna, I'm just like, oh my gosh, she was such a baby. But yes, I was definitely anxious about just that. I honestly have to say, because of course I knew she was going to be with you guys. She was going to be in the best hands. I didn't have to worry about whether you guys were going to know what to do. I knew all of that was squared away. It was just, is she going to be looking for me in the middle of the night, waking people up and giving someone else a hard time instead of me? Because I never like anyone to carry my weight for me. So I was just like, oh my gosh, please just let them sleep through the night. Yeah. And luckily she did. So
she did really well. Like the whole time she didn't whine. She wasn't fussy at all. The thing, since the girls were both so small, they weren't the best at feeding themselves or anything yet. They were getting the hang of it. But because Ernie and I were together, made it so much easier. Like we each took a kid.
Yeah, definitely. When you have somebody a dad who's so hands-on and they're not afraid to help out, they just get right in there. Dude, it does make it that much easier, because it's like, all right, you got your kid, I got my kid, you handle it, we're good. We're doing this. It's not as complicated as we thought it would be,
Yeah, it was totally like that. Like, I was like, look, Ernie, like, you got Justine, and I'm going to take care of Zoe. Like, I'm going to do all her diaper changes. I'm going to make sure she's eating. Because it was like, well, this is my cousin's kid. Like, I want to take responsibility for her, and Justine is your kid.
Right.
Like, you do, you know her already.
Exactly. You know her life.
Uh-huh.
Let me figure this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so funny because it's like the same when we have Justine. It's just like, all right, you handle our kids. This is my cousin's baby. I got her. She my baby.
This is my baby. Yeah, and it was, I think a similar thing that we both kind of did was we hung out for most of the day. We didn't just kind of like dump our kid off in the daytime.
Peace out.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we pretty much stayed close to bedtime, so the kids are already tired and not really complaining about anything. And for the most part, the issues that we would have when it was time to separate them was they wanted to be together still, you know. It was like, I don't want to leave. So this time it was like, okay, you're going to stay. And they stayed, and it was what they wanted. So they just went straight to sleep. And, you know, Zoe was kind of up a little bit and thinking about you and asking for you guys. But she didn't, like, give me a hard time at all.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
But I think it was because we all, like, we made it very clear to her, like, okay, you know, mommy's going to be here at this time to come get you. Like, we really let her know what the schedule was going to be so that there wasn't any surprises. Like,
they know what to expect. She knows, okay, my mom is going to come back for me. She's just not left in wonder.
Mm-hmm. And it was like, as soon as you wake up in the morning, we're going to call her so you could say good morning. And then we'll have breakfast and you guys could play for a little while. And then before you know it, mommy and daddy are going to be here. And she did it so well. Like, there were no issues with it.
It's so good. It makes me proud.
Yeah, no, she was so good. And like, we just wanted it to be really fun for them. So before they went to bed, we gave them a little bubble bath together, and we got the cutest photos of them with their little bubble bodies. I love it. I still look at them all the time.
I know, I love them.
Because I want them
So
to remember, you know, I love looking at photos of you and I when we were little, and I know that they're going to love seeing photos of them when they were small. Like,
yes.
Like, I wish there were so many more photos of you and I, but there's just not enough.
We don't have too many of those, so you know me. I'm horrible at having any kind of freaking devices, like a phone, anything to take pictures with. I'm horrible. I break everything. So you're like the family photographer, I swear. Like, you have to make sure you're capturing these moments for these girls.
I know. And I've been pretty bad at it too because, you know, our hands are so full. We just have kids everywhere and things going on all the time. And now my phone's always dying.
Or full of pictures.
Or it's already full. And I'm like, I can't take any more. I took so many videos. All my storage is full.
That's the story of my life, like, all the time. Like, I can't snap one picture because it's like right when I have that cute moment, it's like, cannot take pictures, not enough storage. And I'm just like, FML all day long for the rest of the day.
So for us, since the girls were so little, when Zoe slept over, Justine, you know, doesn't sleep in her own bed. But I know I've talked about this before. I have her crib pushed against our bed, so it was like an extension. Yeah. So she would still be right next to me because at that time I was still breastfeeding too. So, you know, I'm trying to nurse Justine on one side and Zoe's trying to fall asleep on the other side of me, like inside of the little crib, and Justine's in the middle of Ernie and I. And then Justine wants to be next to Zoe. So then when she's done nursing, I put her over there, and they were just so cute, like sleeping next to each other. It was so sweet. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved waking up and them being like, hey.
Yes.
Oh, that was like
so excited.
That was like another thing. I know you know this now, but my daughter is a morning person. Like, as soon as the sun cracks, she's ready for the world. But, you know,
totally.
And I just thought, because she was the only kid I had experience with, kids just wake up super early. And I learned the hard way that is not the case, because Zoe did not like the morning. She was not happy. She just wanted to lay there and was like, no. But it was still so cute. It took her a little while to warm up.
Let me wake up, and then I'll play with you.
And Justine was just like, Zoe, like so happy to see her and ready to hug on her. And she's like, you need to give me my space. Like, no, this is just
Oh my
happening right
god,
now.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a lot to take in this early in the morning, Justine. Give me a couple minutes to wake up a little. I need my coffee.
She is, but it was they did good. They did really well.
That's awesome.
And so for Luna, you haven't had her sleepover anywhere, have you?
I have not, but I know my little Lou, she doesn't go anywhere. She's so attached to me. She has not slept over anywhere, but she has had one night without me. Joey's last night in the hospital. My sister was, happened to stay over and told me, like, just go ahead and stay with Joey tonight. Like, if she wakes up, I'll call you. Just stay with him. So I ended up crashing at the hospital with Joey, and she surprisingly slept perfectly fine without me the entire night. Didn't wake up, and that just blew my mind, because I think about, wow, when I'm home, you wake up, at least, 3 to 4 times a night.
Yeah.
Looking for me, and she just was a total trooper without me. So I guess that kind of gives me a little bit of hope that she'll be okay while we're away on our girl getaway.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I really don't. She's a little feisty thing. She might just be like, I need my mama, because she's got the chi-chi. And where is she?
Where is she? I need to know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, yes. She hasn't had her little time away from me just yet, somewhere fun and exciting like Zoe has, but her time will come. She's still little. She's 19 months, so I don't know if I'm ready to let her go sleep over anywhere just yet.
Yeah, and as I was kind of looking into this topic, it seems like we're doing it really young, and I don't know if that's just
Really?
Yeah, because everywhere it's just no, they didn't sleep over anywhere until they were 6.
What?
Yeah, it's a long
That's
time.
pretty big, yeah.
I think maybe that's for a friend's house though that I'm looking at. I don't know, because I feel like a family member's house you do sleep over earlier, or
yeah, when you're little, and definitely. Or you should.
Yeah, or with your grandparents. But I mean, some kids are they're not going to sleep. Yeah. And that's the thing, you don't know, because some kids are okay and other kids aren't. I got really lucky both times, because Zoe did really well the 2 times we had her sleepover. And I also had Ernie's niece, Olivia, sleepover too. And she was super stoked to, we kind of did the same thing, did a fun little bubble bath. We had dinner. But she was closer to 3, I think, when she slept over. So her vocabulary was already there, and she was more independent. So she was able to feed herself and really do her own thing.
Yeah.
But Justine was still really small. So she was kind of why isn't she, she couldn't understand how small Justine was, Yeah. Why isn't she talking to me? Or I don't know what she's saying. Hey, she took food off of my plate. Because, Justine would take food off of our plates all the time. Who cares? She's our kid. But then you don't even think about, oh, yeah, crap, we got to teach her not to do that, because that's pretty rude to just say, oh, you're not going to eat those green beans? I'll take them.
Yeah.
And she thought it was so funny, because Olivia would get upset, hey, that was mine. She's just oh, this? Shoving it down her face.
That's hilarious.
So she went to sleep, and she went to sleep fine. She did really great. She slept in the crib side again, and Justine slept in between us. But she woke up kind of sad. She really missed her mom when she woke up in the morning.
Aww.
So we called her, and she did, she was fine after that. Then we just spent, the rest of the afternoon together, took her on a beach day, and yeah, it was good. And I mean, it was better because they live probably like half an hour away from us. So it would have been kind of a big drive to, have to take her home or for them to come pick her up.
Yeah.
So what is like your feelings of when I was having Justine sleepover for the first time? Did you have any like expectations or any goals that you want to have for her first night being there?
I was really excited because I was like, okay, it's her first sleepover ever and she's coming to our house. Like, I'm really excited for her because I know that she loves to come over here. She just will walk in the door and run straight to the room like she lives here, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, I love that she just feels so at home here, you know? So I was excited for her to have her day where she didn't have to go home and end her little playtime where she has to give us a hug goodbye and leave. Like, she gets to stay and hang out as long as she wants, you know?
Yeah.
And before we knew it, it was like 10 o'clock and we're like, whoa, these kids are just still like running around, like chilling, you know? So a little while after you guys left, I was like, okay, girls, like, let's go to the room. We're going to read a book and lay down and get ready for bed. So that's what we did. We went and lay down and I read her story. And for like a good hour, she was just laying there, like just staring at the ceiling, would not go to bed, you know, she was just laying there. And I was thinking, wait, like, I didn't even ask Jessica, like, if she likes to sleep with the light on, is she a nightlight kid, or does she like completely just total darkness? Like, I didn't even think to ask you that before you had left, you know? And so she was laying there for a while, probably about 45 minutes to an hour,
That's
and
a
she
long
finally
time.
fell asleep. Yeah, I was just like, for a while, I kept thinking like, okay, I think she's finally asleep. Like, I'm going to sneak out, you know? And I would like peek at her and she was still just staring there. And I'm like, are you okay, baby? Yeah, I'm okay. And I'm like, okay, do you want the light on? Do you want the light off? I want the light off. Okay. So we would try it off and she still wouldn't go to bed. So I turned it back on for her. The whole time I was laying there with her because I'm like, okay, is she going to eventually start asking for you, you know, because she's been laying here for quite some time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure her mind is running and like, she has not said one word. Like, she's just not saying anything. She's just laying here. But before I knew it, she fell asleep. And I think I even asked you, like, did she wake up in the middle of the night, like, looking for you? And you're like, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I sleep in the room with them so she doesn't even have to get up and look for me. Like, I'm just going to sleep in there with her. And so that's what I did. I put all the girls to bed. Zoe came looking for me in the middle of the night. And right away, I took her back to the room and I just laid on the floor with her. And I was thinking, like, okay, I don't want to disturb Justine and, like, move her over to put Zoe back to bed. You know, I'm just going to lay right here on the floor with her. So it was so funny because I was expecting Justine to wake up, like, maybe once during the nighttime, and I would just cuddle her and go back to sleep. She slept like a champ. She had Zoe's whole bed to herself, like a little queen. So she did not even wake up, not one time. And I woke up the next morning on the floor with my two babies. I wake up to Justine standing on Zoe's bed. And it's like not even 7 in the morning.
On her bed?
And she's standing on the bed because she's like tripping out because we're just asleep on the floor, you know? Mm-hmm. So she stands on Zoe's bed and she's like, what are you guys doing? It was so funny because I was just like, whoa, it's super early. So I was like, you ready to wake up, baby? Like, come on, like, Auntie's going to get up with you. So I got up with her and we started our little day. And it was funny because, you know, right when I got up and I stood up, she's, where's my mommy and daddy? I said, oh, mommy and daddy, they're at home. Do you want to call them? She's like, yeah, let's call them. I said, okay, we'll call them. Let's give them a little bit of time to wake up. And she said, okay. She took off running, you know, to play with toys, and that was it. Like, she didn't even, or sorry to break your heart to hear that, but she totally forgot about you when she was here.
I know. That's what happens when she's
No.
with her favorite cousins and aunties.
I know. And she got really lucky that day because she happened to be sleeping over the day before Cinco de Mayo. And on Cinco de Mayo, we had like a parade that happens to go like right by our house. So she was here. She was able to just go right outside and see this parade. And she had a really good time. I think she did really, really, really well because I was really expecting her to cry for you. Like, I know she loves her mama, you know, and she's super attached to you guys.
Yeah.
So
I figured that she would fall back asleep, but I just thought that she would wake up for sure because there has not been one single night of her life where she didn't wake up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? She went to sleep really late, though. So she was probably exhausted.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm telling you, like, you guys probably left at like 10 something.
Mm-hmm.
I went and laid down with her and she was just staring. That's why I was like, oh, okay, here, like pretty soon, like she's going to start asking me for you, you know? I was just like, oh God, like she's going to start asking, you know?
Yeah. I feel like one of my goals was like, you know, I'm not going to give up on the sleepover. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, Zoe's crying super, super hard. Like, I'm going to get her through the night. Like, I'm going to get her through it.
Exactly. I swear. Mine was the same thing, Jess. I was like, you know what? I cannot fail Jessica. Like, I don't care if Justine cries. Like, I'm going to just have to, like, ante her up, like, all night because there's no way I'm going to call her mom at, like, 2-something, 3 in the morning talking about, I couldn't do it. You got to come and get your kid, you know?
For real. I will not fail.
Yes. I was like, I gotta accomplish this. I was so proud of myself when I woke up in the morning and she's like, get up, guys. I'm like, all right, I'll get up.
We did it. She's happy.
We did it. Yeah. Like, you had a good sleepover. Like, I'm so proud of you. And that's what I told her in the morning. I was like, I'm so proud of you, Justine. Like, you slept over here all by yourself. First time, like, you did such a good job, like, you didn't even cry for them.
So rude of her.
She's
I'm
so
just kidding.
cute.
No, I'm glad. I'm really glad she did well. Yeah, I mean,
I know, I'm glad.
She had been asking to sleep over there whenever we go. I know you know that she never wants to leave. So when I was like, well, do you want to stay here the night? And I think, of course, her first instinct was that we would be staying there with her. And I had to break it to her, Mommy and Daddy are not going to be there. It's going to be you know, and if you need anything, like Auntie and Uncle are there. And if you're feeling really bad, you know, tell them to call Mommy and I'll come get you. So that way she knows, you know, there's a way out.
There's an escape. You're not trapped.
Yeah, if you're not happy, you can come home. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, you're only 2 years old. But no, yeah, she was at first like, no, I want you to stay. And I was like, I'm sorry, baby. Like, we're not going to be able to stay. And if you want to sleep with Mommy and Daddy, then you can just come home. But the thing is like, I was really worried because before we left, like, she was having some major tantrums at your house. I was like, I don't even want to leave her like this. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you were like, I don't know. I'm like, no, Jess. Like, she's just tired. Like, give her a break. Like, she's tired. I was like, I'm going to go lay down with them. Like, just don't give up on her.
Let her stay. That's so funny. Yeah. Did you do any prep for Zoe before you sent her over here, or was it just like, you'll be fine?
I definitely had the same little talk with her. You know, it was like, you're going to go to, you know, spend the night with Justine. You're going to sleep over. And so I feel like Zoe just came out, like, ready for the world, you know? Like, she's, in a lot of ways, she's kind of fearless, you know? Like, she's very just, like, independent, like, where she's just like, I got this, Mom. Like, and it kind of makes me sad a little bit because I'm like, okay, when I want you to be needy, you're not. And when I don't want you to be, you are, you know? So she was all for it. Like, she just was ready for it. Like, I get to have, like, cousin time, sleep. Zoe is a major sucker for her cousins. So anytime you tell her she's going to go and spend any time with her cousins, she's stoked. So she was super excited when I told her she was going to have a sleepover because she watches Princess Sophia and she sees Amber and, you know, Sophia and the little princesses having their sleepovers. So she already knew what the little concept was. And I told her the same thing, that, you know, mommy and daddy were going to be at our house and she was going to stay at auntie's house. And if anything, that she could call me and I'll come and pick her up if she's sad. And
I mean, maybe because they're firstborn, they're just like really independent girls.
I guess.
I was really independent like that too, like ready to sleep over, like, bye mom, I'm going to school.
Mm-hmm. I know. I think I was pretty tough too. I think I remember my little sister having like her moments when we would go spend the night at my aunt's house. Like she would miss my mom or cry for her like every night now and then.
Yeah.
But we were bigger too, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe like 6 or 7, and we're still wanting our mamas. So they're pretty young to be such troopers to be without us already.
So I'm looking up some things to think about, you know, when you're going to have a sleepover, when you're sending your kid or, you know, whatever. So on parenting.com, on this little article called Reality Check, Too Young for a Sleepover. So like one of the points that they made were to run through the scenarios up front, discuss the fickle nature of 3-year-olds with the parents or whoever's watching your kid, and make sure that they're prepared for the 2 a.m. phone call. Like, you might have to call me, or, you know.
Yeah.
You know, give a lot of information. So let them know, like, what's their bedtime, and, you know, what time do they eat, what time do they nap, you know, do they usually eat a big breakfast, when, you know, just all that stuff that you have to think about.
Little
like,
tip.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks.
Yeah, like go to the restroom before they go to sleep, you know, as soon as they wake up. But I mean, if you're sending them to somebody who has like a toddler, most likely they know all of these things. But sometimes, you know, you have like, you just have to leave them with somebody who hasn't been around a toddler in a long time and they forgot.
Yeah.
So you have to like remind them those little tiny things. So get plenty of information. Don't go into this thing without knowing every last detail of the friend's bedtime routine, so you could adjust your pattern accordingly to figure out like what they need. Like, obviously your kids are on a little bit of a different schedule than Justine is, because, you know, I work late and we do everything a little bit later than you guys do. Like, I think you have dinner around like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we get dinner like 7:30 or 8. So expecting Justine to eat at 6 o'clock sometimes is like really tough for her because she's just not hungry yet.
Yeah.
And then like we all know that like lunchtime is friggin' like
pulling teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel so bad because like recently, you know, my mom's been sick, so you've been taking care of Justine for me one day out of the week, and you have her for lunchtime / nap time, and she's not eating her lunch and she's not taking her nap. So you have like my child at her worst.
No, at all. No, she's fine. I mean, I swear we need to find like how should I say this? A feeding kids food guru or something. Like, what is the key or secret to success for getting your kids to eat their food? Like, I think every mom wants to know. So
sometimes at lunch, I know I probably really shouldn't do this, but like I'll put her in her high chair because, you know, okay, she's not ready to not be in a high chair yet. And I'll put on like PJ Masks or like a show that she likes or that she wants to watch. And as soon as she stops eating, I'm like, oh, I'm going to turn off your show. And she's like, no. And she'll keep eating. Not my show.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, that's not just your thing that you shouldn't be doing. Like, everybody does that. Those are our desperate measures that we take to get these kids to freaking eat.
I'm gonna turn it off.
That pause button, like,
for
oh,
real.
you want me to pause it? I will pause it. I'll
Already
turn it off.
Oh, see, and then you turn it off, and they're crying. Well, if you want to watch it, you gotta eat your food. Okay, I'm eating it. That's what I thought. Yeah.
No, she hasn't been that bad. Like, I feel like because there's like the three of them, they kind of like keep each other like in little line with each other.
Yeah.
So if I'm telling Justine something, and then Zoe will be like, "You're not listening to my mommy. You have to eat your lunch," but she'll start chiming in, and then Justine will be like, "All right, I guess I'll listen to Zoe for a little bit," and she'll eat a little bit and then run off and then come back, So
yeah.
Sometimes when I have her here, I'm like, all right, it's like less work for me. You know what I mean? Because she's here to keep my kids company, to play with them. And so I'm like, all right, the three of you are doing your thing. I just have to be referee the moments you guys forget, and that's it.
It's so funny, dude. Zoe is total.
It worked out.
She's total boss. Like, even when I get there, she's like, oh my God. When I got there today, Zoe grabbed me by my hand and like, Justine, look who I got for you. It was so funny. Oh, you brought me here, Zoe? You drove my car here to pick her up? Look what I got for you. It's your mommy.
Oh my God.
And then I was like telling Justine something because I think she was trying to do something and she hit Luna in the head. And I was telling Justine she needed to apologize, and Justine just walked away from me because, of course, she hadn't napped and she was acting a little stank. And Zoe was like, Justine, you listen to your mommy. Like,
I'm telling you, like, I have to just be there to be referee for when Zoe thinks she's going to come in all hot and be Justine and Luna's mommy. I'm like, excuse me, you are not in charge here. Come down from your cloud. Like, you need to stop.
She's the best. She's funny.
Such a boss.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So another thing here is don't stint on the sweetness. So maybe, you're a drill sergeant with your own kids. Like, no, you need to go to bed now. But you got to like sweeten it up when you have company because, you don't want your little guests to be crying too.
Yes, exactly. You don't want to be like mean where they're like, ooh, I don't anymore.
Yeah. So you got to be more, a little bit more open to hugs and them not listening because it's hard. Like there's a new person in the space with them and attitudes are totally going to change. Like your routine, like as much as you want to stick to your routine, it's different because there is another kid there.
Right.
So you just got to be forgiving toward everything that's happening. Let's see. I think I had another. Okay. So this is just 10 tips for hosting a successful sleepover from todaysparents.com. This stuff is the best. Some stuff is just like so strange to me, but okay. So this stuff is, you just never know what to take out of these little tips because I don't know. Some stuff is weird and some stuff is okay. But this is the first time I'm reading this, so we'll go over it together.
Okay.
All right. The first one is you shall not host a sleepover until your child is truly ready. But like, how do you know if your kid is ready until you try it? But I think that's more like a party, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a big sleepover because that's another thing. I think not that we're like, we kind of just got lucky with it because I feel like our girls are so comfortable with each other. You know what I mean? With each other. And then they know like, okay, they know how close we are. They know, all right, I know that my aunt is going to get me back to my mom. So that like sense of security, I feel like that's why we get super lucky. Yeah. But yeah, when it's time for the girls to like, they go to school and they have sleepovers with like friends, I don't I don't know. I don't even know if I'm ever going to be ready for those days.
I know. Dude, I used to
They make me really nervous. I'm not kidding. Like, there's just so much to think about, you know?
Yeah, I think this list that I'm looking at now is definitely for like the older kids, so I don't know
If you want to read it.
if I want to read it. Yeah, I'll just read. I'm not going to go through the details of them then. It's just going to say limit the guest list, honor your guest parents, don't offer sugary treats or heavy foods an hour before bedtime, relax about the activities, have you have to be nearby and have a code. So, the kids are in one room. You have to keep checking like every half an hour or so to see how everyone's doing without, being too intrusive, but letting them know that you're watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And honor the level of sleeping field. What is that? A circle of sleeping bags on the living room or bedroom floor. Space permitting means everyone is connected and equal. Okay, so make sure that it's not cliquey, I guess. Like this person's alone and everyone's over here. I guess.
Like everyone feels together.
Yeah. Make sleep possible. Prepare for forgotten toothbrushes and sudden exits. And say, just pick them up whenever. So, like, set up a time so that all the kids are leaving together. It's not like so-and-so leaves at 10 a.m. This guy's going to be here till 4. Like, nah, man, you got to go home. The party's over.
Get your kid, yeah.
Uh-huh. It's horrible. But I mean, I guess it's true. Like, okay, the party is over. Like,
yeah.
But I would
There's
for sure.
There's gotta be some boundaries here.
I know.
What time are you coming to get this kid?
I know. I feel like I'd be the parent that is like the first one there, though. Like, it's 7. I'm gonna come get her.
For sure. Like when she opens her eyes.
I know. I know. I didn't do that with Justine, though. I mean, obviously she's with you guys, and I knew the parade was there and stuff. I didn't know what time the parade was, so I totally missed it. But what are you gonna do? I was like, all right, I'm on my way.
That is always next year.
Yeah, totally. So what about like stuff to pack?
Stuff to pack. I would say definitely, all of the necessities and maybe just like an extra outfit in case of anything. Like, you never know. I guess with us, we're pretty lucky because we have everything that like our girls would need for each other. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Clothes, all that stuff. We're like stocked. And like you said, we have kids of the same age. So it's not like you have to be like, oh, here's her potty chair. Here's this, here's that, here's that. It's like, I have baby Tylenol. I have this. I have that. So it's not like this big grocery list that we have to go through to like stress ourselves out, which we get pretty lucky with.
Yeah, I really could send Justine to your house with like
nothing.
With underwear, a toothbrush,
with a toothbrush.
Yeah. And like she'd be fine.
She would survive.
But yeah, I love. So that's the thing too, is because Zoe and Justine are pretty close in size. Like, Justine has clothes that are like the next size up. So if Zoe needed something, we have it. But with Olivia, since she's 2 years older than her, when she comes over, I'm like, oh shit, I don't really have anything for her to wear. Like, I do, but it's gonna be like super young on her. But I mean, what am I gonna do? Like, she's gonna have to wear it.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's nice having kids that are the same size, pretty much.
Totally. We're stuck. Yeah, so I don't know if I should be giving the best advice on packing because I'm like, they're good.
They're fine. Okay, so this other site called the Bluegrass Mom. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of her because I haven't until right now. So the first thing she says is to pack the loveys. Justine doesn't have a lovey, so I know a lot of kids do.
No, my kids are not like attached to anything either except me. So I'm like, I can't fit in their suitcase. Sorry.
I think it's because we give our kids everything, and they have too much stuff to be attached to anything.
They're like, we can't pick a favorite. You know how many freaking dolls I have, lady?
Dude, I tried to get Justine to take stuff to your house. Like, do you want to take this toy to remind you of home? No. Damn it. What about...
Remind you of home.
You could think about your bed? No, I'm all right. Oh, fine. You sure? You don't want to take Luna Girl? You don't want Catboy? I'm okay, Mommy. Damn it. Like, I'm really trying, throwing all the things out there. She didn't want a toy or a blanket.
You were trying to set her up for failing her sleepover. That's what you were trying to do. You were trying to give her some shit that was going to make her miss you and make her make me make that 3 a.m. phone call. That's what you were trying to do, Jessica. I see your games.
I wasn't. I just wanted her to think of home a little. Oh.
A little.
Just a little bit. Call me in the morning. Don't forget. No, she forgot. All right. So the next thing is make it special. So I think this bluegrass mom says, my husband and I are realists. We know that overnights at the grandparents are moments to make memories together. Okay, no, that's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. We didn't need to talk about all that. But I mean, the thing, like you were saying, there was a parade going on, and there was other people sleeping over. So it was special, it was like a day to make memories and do really cool things together.
Yeah, it was.
Just like, when Zoe comes over here, she knows we're going to do a bubble bath and we're going to play games and we're going to do, whatever else. So she has like her little things that she does here. And now Justine knows you guys go on your walks together and she's going to get to sit in the double stroller and sit next to one of her cousins. So it's cool. It is like extra special for them to share a space like that.
Yeah, they have their little escape. And I love that they have that because I grew up being very attached to like an aunt or two at times of my childhood where they were my escape. You know what I mean? Like I would be stuck at home bored all the time and they would come and swoop me up and save me, take me somewhere fun and do something fun with me. So
yeah,
I love that they have. I mean, we're pretty fun moms, so it's even cooler to have like a fun aunt on top of that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
All right, I get my fun mom all the time, and then I get to go with my cool aunt. That's even cooler,
The other day, when we went to Disneyland, I was wearing, so these damn Jersey Disneyland shorts that are so popular right now and super expensive.
Uh-huh.
So I bought one, but it's enormous, even though it's like an extra small. So I totally mom it up and tuck it into my jeans. And Ernie's like, why are you dressed like that? And I'm like, what? I'm not a cool mom. I'm a regular mom. And he's just like, and then Justine comes like, yeah, you're a regular mom. You're not cool. And I was like, damn it.
No, Jessica,
so
you're
funny.
not.
Yeah, you're not cool. Oh, hush, little girl.
Of course.
I know. She has the best timing. I think you're right. I totally had the same. I mean, mine was always going to your house. And I had like 2 other aunts as well, I think, that I was with. But, okay, so the other thing is go over the routine and be realistic. We know that... we talked about this a little bit already, go over the routines, about their naps, about their snack times, their potty times, and, be realistic. Like, maybe they're not going to be able to feed them around the time you're used to. Maybe they might not make it to the restroom. So make sure you send them with extra clothes and extra underwear. Like you're sending them with pajamas, but maybe a second set of pajamas. You're sending them with clothes for the day, but you're going to have to send like a second set or be prepared for the weather. Like maybe it's going to be hot, maybe it's going to be cold. And like, I'm horrible at checking the weather. I really have to like feel it or else I just don't understand.
Same. I don't even know. I don't watch any kind of TV, so I never know what the news is reporting the weather is going to be. And then I don't even check my phone. So I always just, I don't even know. I don't even know how I get dressed in my life. I just look out the window, and if I see the trees blowing, I'm like, okay, let's put on pants.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, 100%.
that's how I base it.
I know. And so I know I was talking about you've been watching Justine, but Ernie's dad has also been watching Justine lately too. And I haven't really got to sit and talk with him about what her routines are. And I wasn't here when, I'm not here when she leaves with him. And I'm not sure if Ernie's gone over when her nap times and stuff are, but I know that she was kind of struggling with him a little, like not wanting to go down and not wanting to eat because she thinks she's the boss and she could say no, no, no because she has a new thing going on with Grandpa and her routine is like totally thrown off. But she's working on it. We're getting it together. But it's like so important to talk about those things with people so that way they're aware, so they know, okay, it's 4:00 now. Just don't even bother with it. Just let her be awake because then it's going to mess us up for the night.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I feel so bad for you kind of when you come pick her up from her day here with us because I know we don't live far from each other, but it's still like a good 10-15 minute drive, especially the time you go home. And I feel like she's had such a long play day here that as soon as she gets in that car to go home, like she's going to knock out and then she's not going to sleep like all night.
Last week she did do that, but she did go to sleep. She just like slept for a while, woke up and ate dinner and then went back to bed. But today I kept her up. She was like, Mommy, I'm tired. Good. And I was like, talk to me. And I was just like asking her a bunch of questions. But she just got overtired. So when it was time for her to go to sleep, she was real fussy.
Yeah.
But she's down now. That's all that matters.
Yep.
So the next thing, number 4, is to set your expectations. Your child will be off his routine. Like no matter how much you stress the routine to whoever's watching them, there's no way because they're not with you. They're going to not want to sleep.
Break the rules.
Yeah. So be prepared and, talk about it with them and compromise and try to transition back into what you're used to. But it's going to be a lot of work getting new, But I mean, just them sleeping over one time shouldn't be bad. But right now, we're really struggling with the new routine. Just like, because my mom watched her every single day. And now
she's going so many places.
Right. She's all over the place now. So we're trying to find a new routine. But it'll work itself out, I'm sure. She's going to turn 3 soon. So she'll start school. And I think that'll be a good basis for her routine after that.
Yeah.
Go to school and then come home and take a nap.
Yeah. Perfect.
Hopefully. So number 5 is safety. And we know that our parents raised us and, whoever also has kids. But, a lot of things change. So you got to make sure that they know how your stuff works.
Yeah. And all of the new rules. Like, I know our moms are always like, oh, well, when you were a baby, we gave you this and we gave you that. And it's like, yes, but now things are different. And these are the things they're saying babies can't have or can't do or can't. Yeah. So that's what we got to follow, so.
Yeah, totally. Obviously, like, Ernie's dad hasn't had to put in a car seat for a long time. And car seats are so different than what they were in their early 90s. So, showing him, okay, this is how you buckle this in. This is how you know that it's all the way tight. She can't eat these foods or cut it up super small. Like all that kind of stuff.
Does it give you more anxiety when she's going somewhere like that? Like basically like she's with someone like Ernie's dad who hasn't been around someone her age in a really long time that doesn't know all of like the new things that someone who's raising someone her age right now would know. Does it get you a little bit like worried, like just while you're at work? Like, are you scared sometimes?
I haven't been scared because, I'm trusting that he has instincts. And I know that she's big enough to like, use her words and stuff. And I know that she's a pretty tough kid. So I don't get worried, but I do think about her
things.
more now.
Yeah.
Whereas like when she's with my mom, like I'm not worried about anything. When she's with you guys, like I'm not worried about anything except for if she's bullying your kids. But you know, when she's with him, I just
AKA Zoe.
AKA she's always picking on Zoe. They're always picking on each other.
AKA yes.
Crazy girls. But yeah, I do feel like a little bit more like, oh, I wonder if she's giving him a hard time. I wonder if she's stressing him out. Did he get her? Does he know as soon as she says she has to potty? It's like right now, you know, like it's already last minute if she's asking for it. Like, you know, you kind of have to ask her after like X amount of time has passed.
Yeah.
Just like little stuff like that. I know that whenever she goes there, she's going to come back filthy because she's like all over the place. So I had to like send her in dark clothes, and when she comes home I have to check her for like any scrapes or anything because I know she'll just get into anything. Yeah, I mean it's a little bit different.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean I know that like I trust him. But it's definitely different because like he's not a mom, you know, like instincts are so different.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, you would not be putting number one, you didn't trust him. Okay. It's just all of like the little nitpicky things you have about as a mom, you know? Like you're saying, like, oh my gosh, is he gonna give her a grape and not cut it in half or like a whole banana? You know what I mean? Just like little dumb stuff that like we overly think about.
Yeah, where like my mom overthinks about more stuff than I do, where I'm like, oh no, she could eat that. And my mom's like, no, that's too big.
She's chill.
Yeah. And I'm like, I think that's fine. And my mom's like, no, cut it 3 more times. Like, all right.
My dad, dude. Oh my god.
I know, my mom and your dad are so alike. They're funny. Yeah, I mean, I feel like as long as, you know, you trust who you're giving your kid to and you're very vocal about how they are and what to be prepared for, like on both ends, and like, you know, what the plan is, like what they're planning on doing with your kids, so you have an idea of, you know, what to talk to them about after and what to prepare them for. I think it should be super successful. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, it helps to send them somewhere they're completely comfortable at and somewhere that, with someone they're used to seeing on a very heavy, regular basis. So, yeah, they're going to miss you, but probably not enough to ask to go home, you know? Like Justine, I'm pretty positive she was laying there that whole time because she missed you, but she just didn't miss you enough to ask for you, you know? Because she loves us, so.
Yeah, totally. All right. Well,
that makes, you know.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that she's happy with you guys. All right, so should we get to our moody meltdown for the week?
What is our moody meltdown for the week?
I don't know. Do you have one?
I don't think I do.
Well, lately we've been having these bedtime meltdowns where she's like, pat my back. Now hold me. Now just pat my back. Now hold me. And if we're not doing it exactly how she is saying it, she's like crying and uncomfortable. I mean, that's what happened to me right now because she was overly tired. So she was just freaking out on me. Like, no, hold me with your other hand like this. I'm like, I cannot hold. My arm doesn't bend like that. Like, I'm sorry, sister. It's not going to happen. And it's just like crying.
The picky little one, huh?
She is like crying like an infant because she's just so exhausted and she wants me to pat her back.
Oh, let's bring this up since we both live with our parents now.
Okay.
When Justine is having these moments of her melting down, does your mom or dad try to go in there and like see what's wrong with her?
Yeah. Oh my God. Of course.
Does that drive you insane?
Ernie a little bit more than me. He like can't stand it because he's used to having so much like independence and like I've always been with my parents, and it gets a little tough because I hate when people are working, I mean like looking over my shoulder while I'm doing things. Like that drives me crazy. Yeah. So I mean that's essentially like what that is. Like she's like watching what I'm doing and I'm like
Get out of here. I got this.
Yeah. And then, she's watching me and then like, Justine, what's wrong? And I'm like, don't talk to her. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I see we have that in common.
Yeah, a little.
Well, so this is new for you because
I just moved back in with my parents. I haven't lived with them since I was 19.
Jesus.
So it's 10 years that I haven't lived with them. And so now we're back, and like a couple of nights, like the girls will get up like in the middle of the night crying, and like I don't know why my dad thinks he has to like get up and come out, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I'm like, does he think that I don't hear them? Like, I don't know, but I feel it's not that it upsets me. Actually, that they're waking him up, I feel bad. Like, how many times, like, I know they wake me up how many times a night. So I'm just like, are they waking them up that many times now? And it makes me feel bad.
Yeah, like we share a wall with my parents. So when she wakes up crying, I'm always like, Justine, you're going to wake up grandma. You're going to wake up grandpa.
I know. The girls' room is sharing a wall with the parents' room as well. So, like, they hear it not first because, they're loud. We can hear it. The whole house can hear it. But, yeah, it's funny because I'm like, I told my mom that. I'm like, why does dad always get up? Like, does he think I don't hear them? Like, I'm their mom. Like, they're looking for me, Like, I got it. Don't worry. Like, I don't want him to wake up and disturb his sleep.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I guess it's more of our mommy meltdown instead of the baby's meltdown.
Totally. That's our mommy moment of the week.
Yeah, that is really tough. But, I mean,
It is.
California, shared household. That's the only way to make
Dude,
it. Freaking.
who could survive in life out here? Everybody's got to live together.
But it's so helpful.
It is. Yeah, it's totally different living with my parents. They're just so willing to help. It's so crazy because I feel like before I was just so overwhelmed. Like I never could breathe, And now that I live with my parents, and there's, of course, Joey's still home on disability right now. Like, there's just so many hands here right now. So it just makes my life a lot easier. And I'm glad because it came at such a perfect timing, I guess, because, helping you plan the wedding and doing all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
For that. So
yeah, it's perfect.
I've been able to have my hands free to enjoy myself a little more. And we've been doing some fun things. We just went to Super Mamas. We haven't even mentioned that.
Oh, you mean the $40 we spent to like have a freaking
take our
panic
kids
attack
to the park? To watch our kids play with the same stuff we could have took them to play with at the mall for free.
And then just be like standing in like extremely long lines because there's only one line to do each thing.
Yes.
I mean, it was really nice. It was really nice. It was like awesome that there were like so many other families there. But like I had posted on Instagram, now we know not to take our kids to network, yeah, and everybody was on there like, oh my god, I was so stressed out. I felt the same. Everybody felt the same way. Like there was no bonding time to bond with other moms because everybody was just like
other moms, and that's the point of it. Yeah. So Super Mamas, if you're listening to us, can you make next year's event no kids?
Yeah. Well, so they do stuff that is no kids, right? And I think those events are so helpful. They're so useful. Like you get to talk and you get to ask moms about their kids and stuff. Because when you're chasing your kid and there's so many people there that it's overwhelming. Like even for me, I feel like if it was that many people there, even without kids, I feel like it's really intimidating.
I feel like especially when you're chasing around kids, you're totally distracted. Like, you just can't mingle. You can't do what the point of those events are for when you take them.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because my husband told me not to take them, and I was like, no, Justine's going. Like, I want them to go too. Like, I'm going to be busy. We had your bridal shower the same day, so I knew I was going to have my hands full in the evening. So I didn't want them to, like, not have any of mommy's attention all day long. So I'm like, okay, let me take them with me. And I feel like my kids were listening to me for definitely the most part, but it's still the point of having to care for them instead of just being able to walk around and say, oh, they're doing makeup over there. Let me go get my makeup done, or let me go do my nails, or, you know, it's like, okay, I wanted to just let them go and play, but I'm like, wait, what if Luna pees and there's all those kids playing? Like, I have to be on it, making sure I take her to the bathroom. Like, how many things to think about having them there. Just went by myself. It would have been so chill. I would have been like, peace out, Jess. I'll go play. I'll be back. Like, but I don't know why I took them.
I don't know what I was thinking either, because it was, you know, my first idea. Like, oh no, I want to bring Justine. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what it was going to be like. But like I'm saying, like most of their events that they do, they're like limited to like a certain number of seats. So that way it's not overwhelming. And, you know, it's no kids. It's always like 21 and over, because they also have drinks. And their stuff is usually set up really nice. So I don't know. I just was not expecting there to be crazy like that.
Yeah, and they probably keep that event family friendly because it's Mother's Day weekend. And it's like, if you want to treat us mamas, then let us just go by ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you didn't have to bring your kids, and plenty of people didn't. And those were the people that were getting their eyebrows done and their nails done. I know,
living it.
So, I mean, now we know for next time. But
yeah, next year we'll leave them home.
But it was hard.
Like, next year they're going to be a year older, so they won't even be that difficult.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I'm still pretty shy, I guess. Like, it's really hard for me to, like, talk to other people where I'm just like, And I know I should. I know we need to.
That is... No.
I force myself.
Let me tell you this. Yeah, and you have to keep doing that because we are a 2-man gig, okay? And I take the shy card because whenever we go places, you always be bubbly and talk to people, and I just go along with it, okay? So you can't be sitting here on our podcast saying you're the shy one because you are assigned to that.
I know. It's hard because I feel like odd when people... I don't know. I just don't know how to, like, break into other people's bubbles, you know? Like, I don't mind. Like, I love when people come and talk to me. Like, I feel so good, but it's so hard for me to, like, step into somebody else's bubble. But I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, I guess everybody really was going to kind of network, but I don't know. I just saw everybody looking very overwhelmed that I did not even want to talk to them.
Yeah, you know, I feel like everyone kind of basically was keeping to themselves, you know, like it was different. Like, we've been to other mommy events and we did mingle a lot more and it seemed more intimate, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a little cray-cray.
Yeah, but we'll probably start doing events again, like, during the holiday, because summer is going to be very crazy for us. So toward the end of the year, we'll get back into mommy mingle stuff.
Remember that, like, summit one you told me about?
Next year. Yeah. We do.
I want to do that.
We should. All right.
I know, guys. We're coming at you with all the sleepover talk, and we didn't even mean for it to be this much.
We really didn't. I thought it was going to be like 20 minutes. Just kidding. Me too. We could never only talk for 20 minutes.
No way. You guys should hear us talk about stuff that's not podcast related.
Never ending. We're like the Mexican goodbyes. We like we say bye too many times.
Oh my gosh. Did you hear Boba?
I know.
Totally.
That is us. I know. It's been our pleasure. Look for us on Instagram as Moody Mommies Podcast. We're now on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean. You could probably find us anywhere, YouTube, Facebook, all over the place. Just search Moody Mommies Podcast. If you're way behind and are just watching This Is Us, we have a podcast on that show too. So Google that as well. And let us know about you guys. Let us know about your moody meltdowns, yours or your kids. Tell us about your Tantrum Tuesdays. We're in for all of it.
We're totally in.
But until next time,
stay moody, guys.
We're always moody.
Say Moody Mommies.
Moody Mommies.
Moody Mommies Podcast.
Yeah.